Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I have been away for a bit and not really uploaded any videos lately, and I want to kind of go into that a bit in this video, and I have one little mystery box I want to share a little bit later on. So the past 6 weeks, my health has taken a very sharp decline, and I have been in the hospital 4 times in the last 6 weeks for about 7 to 10 days. Each time just dealing with different sorts of infections and problems that stem from those infections, and then just the decline of my overall health status, I guess is the easiest way to put it. It's been a really challenging month, and I have really had to, I think, come to terms with the fact that I can't quite manage all of this stuff on my own all of the time, even though I really don't like asking for help. I think that that's kind of something a lot of people might relate with, not wanting to ask for help or inconveniencing other people. But these last 2 hospital stays, I've really had to lean on my sisters. And this is just a shout out to my sisters. I have 4 older sisters, and they collectively drove into Kansas City, stayed for a few days, each of them kind of tag teaming each other. So I had one sister come, and then I had another sister come while she was here, and she had to leave, and that first sister was still here. And then my oldest sister came and stayed for a bunch of days, and my other sisters came and visited between that, to the point where I was never alone. The last 2 hospital stays, I didn't have anybody staying overnight with me. When I got discharged, I had at least one sister here at my apartment with me, just helping me get transitioned back into home and helping things get in order as for discharge planning, and making sure that I never get to the point that I got a couple weeks ago, where things were pretty bad. And it has been very humbling, and also very it's just shown me how unconditional the love that my sisters have for me is, that I'd never had to, I don't want to say put to test before, but I never had needed them the way that I've needed them these past few weeks. And it's like the love I have in my heart for my sisters is always great, but right now it just kind of has a whole new meaning for how much I appreciate them. Yeah, so I've had sisters here, and despite some of the unknown and some of the fear about what's happening right now to me, like we had a lot of fun times too. My last sister left on Saturday, and now I'm alone in my apartment, and it's kind of quiet, but at the same time, I know that I'm equipped with the skills that I need and the tools that I need to get through this period of my life. So what that looks like is we are still trying to get my body healthy enough to get listed for a transplant. And the past couple of weeks have taken some of the progress that I've made away. And I'm going to say this, I think people can relate to this, where when you're kind of running on empty, but you keep going, and you're not really sure how you keep going, but then you get to a point where you can break down or you can stop. And for me, that point was going to the hospital, like the 3rd time I went to the hospital, when I just had to give up the control and I had to just rest. And then after that, thinking back on my prior days where I was trying to be active and trying to get, so many steps in for the day, and trying to get all these tasks accomplished during the day, because I just needed to stay busy and needed to do all this stuff. And now I'm laying in a hospital bed for over a week, and I'm not able to do any of the stuff that I was doing before, and I am exhausted. And it's like, how did I do that? When now, after taking a break from that for so long, I'm like, I'm tired just being awake. I'm tired. I think it really goes to show like how strong the body can be sometimes when it's actually not strong at all. And that was also a very humbling experience for me. I've lost a lot of muscle mass, which is kind of weird to say because I never really had a lot of muscle mass to begin with. And I've lost a lot of my stamina and a lot of my just energy. So one thing that we've set up for the next couple months is having outpatient physical therapy and occupational therapy. And it's neat because my insurance covers it. So they're going to be coming over to my apartment for the next few weeks to just kind of help me build strength and endurance to get back to the way of life that I'm used to living. And that's going to be weird because I've never really been in therapy like that before. But I've met part of the team that will be coming to my home in the next couple months. And they've all been very compassionate and kind. And I have good feelings about it. So that's exciting. Other than that, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. And I kind of feel like right now I'm just at a kind of different mind space than I was maybe a couple months ago. But I'm still me, and I'm still here, and I'm still trying to remain positive even in this unknown period of my life. So, you know, as this goes forward, I really hope to be able to share with you guys that journey, that part of my journey still, as I've tried to do the past few months as well. You know, the dialysis is still going strong. We're still doing the 3 days a week. And it's kind of interesting the different experience that you have doing dialysis in a hospital setting as compared to doing it at my center. I don't know if I would say it's better or worse. It's completely different. One thing that is different is I still run for 3 hours and 15 minutes, but at my center, so I'll be there maybe an average of like 3 hours, 45 minutes, sometimes 4 hours. But when you go to dialysis in the hospital and I do my 3 hours, 15 minutes, I'm usually in the dialysis center for like 5 hours. And it's a long time. So, all right, I gotta take a break real fast, but I will be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm hoping that I spliced this video so it is seamless. Anyway, so yeah, so dialysis takes a long time in the hospital, but the staff in there are very compassionate and very kind and very gentle, just like at my center. So it's always a good experience at either one. But yeah, so that is probably like kind of more surface level of everything that's been happening. And like I mentioned, I would love to kind of continue to go on this journey, sharing some stories and some videos and some thoughts about as life goes on and I try to get healthier. So that will be coming up. But as I mentioned before, I have a box to share. So I haven't bought a whole lot, obviously, since I've been in the hospital, but I still have my phone and I still have a lot of free time. And so I bought a couple of the cheaper boxes on Poshmark while I was in the hospital. Kind of like that one box that said it was expensive and I got it for pretty cheap and it was pretty terrible. I got another one. So I want to preface that I opened this with my sister the other night and we were just laughing because this is ridiculous. So I thought I'd share with you what I got in it. This is a box and it's out of its wrapping because I already have opened it, but it came in a box like this. And it was very, I will say, the description of the box, it said it was worth $199 and I paid $65 for it. But it said it also included a complimentary piece of jewelry and beautiful packaging. And I will say the packaging was beautiful. This just looks like a white box, but it was tied with a really, really neat sort of like glitter type ribbon. And all the items in here were individually wrapped with like care. And that's all I'll say about that. So, and I'm not going to share the seller. I have thoughts about whether or not I should, but I'm just not going to. This is just an experience that I had, and I just want to share this part with you. So, starting off, okay, I'm going to start off with a piece of jewelry. So it came in, it's a necklace, and it came in a neat little drawstring bag. It says Kislet. I'm not sure if that's like the brand of jewelry or what, but it's a pretty neat little bag. And it's kind of like an autumn sort of necklace, I think, because it has like a leaf and then orange. It's a little weird because it's like a little off center, but I like it. Like I could absolutely see myself like wearing this in the fall. You can't really see it. Let's see if I can get that. So yeah, so I mean it's not bad, and it doesn't like feel cheap or anything. It feels pretty good. So I was like, okay, like that's a pretty good start with the jewelry part, at least. Get that resituated. So yeah, I'm not gonna give any false hope. Like, this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Okay, so the first thing that I pulled out is hand sanitizer, and a hand sanitizer. The other description of the box is that it was all gonna be luxury, high-end brands. And as I knew with the price tag I got on it, like, that is probably over-exaggerating a bit. Like, this is hand sanitizer, and it's been used, and it's very liquidy, so I feel like it probably got like replenished by another like bigger bottle of hand sanitizer. And also it's Kaiser Permanente, which in my mind is like a hospital supply company. So yeah, so that's how we started the box. Like, I'm all for hand sanitizer. I'm not going to use this because it looks like it's already been used by somebody. Okay, so then we have this. It's called I Love Cushion by Sephora. It's still sealed. It's bronzer. I'm not against Sephora. I don't really shop at Sephora because I typically get my makeup from either these types of boxes or from like BoxyCharm or whatever. But I've been in Sephora and it's nice. I don't think the Sephora brand itself is high-end luxury. But I do like bronzer. So, okay. Like, all right. Then we get to go to Wet n Wild. It's Wet n Wild. It's glittery, which I like. I like glittery stuff. But it's Wet n Wild. I'm not judging Wet n Wild. I like Wet n Wild things. And I will buy them from Walgreens. But do I consider them at all to be something that should be included in a high-end luxury brand box? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So there's that. Okay. Then we have this, which is by Sugar. It's called Madly in Love. The color, again, is that coral color that everyone seems to want to send me these days, and I can't stand. And the color, coral, I know that's more of a preference that I don't like rather than not being good quality, but I don't know about the Sugar brand, but it's very cheap plastic. Like, this, there's no weight to it. It just feels, it doesn't feel very high-end. Okay, then we get to go down the Maybelline route. And this is a duo called Teal Twist, so it's like a blue and a goldish color. I have nothing against Maybelline. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. But again, I can get this at Walgreens or CVS. Like, this is not a high-end brand. Not a high-end brand. Will I use it? Possibly. Not the point. Okay. So then I have, this is by Laura Geller. So Laura Geller, in my head, I would consider more high-end, and I do like Laura Geller stuff. This, it's called Fairy Dust, and it's, you know, it's unused, and I'll use a little bit of it just to give it a try. Like, it's not, it's kind of tacky. Like, it doesn't go on as smoothly as other like high-end glosses I've gotten have gone, but I like the color. Like the only thing I think about this though is that it's pretty little for a gloss, and it's not made, like it doesn't feel very substantial, right? Like it seems like it's maybe one of the more cheaper things from the brand, which isn't a bad thing, but I would say like at most, this is like at most maybe $20. And I might be getting a little nitpicky right now, but I also am just like, I'm not even done, guys, and we're gonna get into it. Okay, I have 3 things left. So this is Pearl Glow Eye Primer by Tarina Tarantino. So, never heard of this brand before, but it looks very nice. Like, if I just saw that, I'm like, yeah, that could, you know. And this is what it looks like. It is eye primer. It doesn't feel like the most, like, I keep saying high end, right? But it's pretty kind of like, it seems kind of dry as I put it on my hand right there. It seems kind of dry, and I'd never heard of this brand before. So I looked it up on the internet, and Tarina Tarantino, now they pretty exclusively make jewelry, but they teamed up with Sephora to do a limited edition makeup back in the early mid 2010s. And they discontinued making makeup in like the mid 2010s. So how old is this? Maybe I missed something and this is new, but I could not find anything saying that they still make cosmetics. That's sketchy to me. So there's that. And now we are just about to finish up. So, you guys. Okay, the last 2 things in here are these. Do you think I'm wrong to assume that the seller got these from a hotel? Because they look exactly like hotel bath bars. And the sides of them say Diversified Hospitality Solutions. Okay, so to go over again, we got hand sanitizer that's been used. We got hospital soap. We got weird lipstick. We got 2 drugstore products, a bronzer by Sephora, a Laura Geller lip gloss, which is probably the best thing in here, a maybe expired, discontinued makeup brand, the Sephora bronzer, and a free piece of jewelry. That's probably actually like the best thing in this box. Even more so than the last box, like there is no way that this has a value of $199. I'm just gonna put that out there. Does it have a value of $65? I would venture to say no. I'm not mad about it because I willingly bought this knowing that it probably wouldn't be very good. But I'm just kind of blown away that people do this. And I'm not sure what went wrong with this because I did look at some of the reviews of this seller and people have done like glowing reviews on the mystery boxes. So I don't know how those ones were different than mine, but this is what I got, and that's fantastic. So yeah, that's the mystery box for today. I do have 2 other ones that came when I was in the hospital that I haven't done quite yet. I need to take a little bit of a breather from this one, but they are also relatively inexpensive. So we'll see what the next ones bring, and we can hope that it's a bit better. When I opened this with my sister, guys, I was just like, I need to share this because it's just so ridiculous. It's funny. So anyway, thank you everyone for coming and being with me during this and for watching this video with me. I hope that you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time with those other 2 boxes and more of a bit of an update on how things are going. See you later.